Hey guys, um, so I don't enter a whole lot of contests. Since I've been on YouTube, I've probably had as many contests as I've entered. Um, but I started watching Liking the Covers 4963, and I'm going to try to leave a link down below to him. Um, and I really enjoy his channel. He's got very similar taste in music as I do. Uh, he's got some really great stories and such that I've really enjoyed what I've seen of his so far, and look forward to seeing stuff in the future. Um, and his video that he made as an entry to my contest is one of my favorites that I've seen. It was just all over the spectrum of it made me sad, it made me happy. It was a great video. Um, but I decided that I was going to go ahead and enter his 50 subs contest. If you're not subscribed, like I said, I'll try to leave a link underneath. Everybody that's subscribed to me should really go out and look him up. He's got some interesting stuff to say, man. Older guy, younger people might be able to learn something from him, and check him out. Um, his contest is 4 questions. A couple of them are multi-part. Um, but first question is, what was the first comic that you bought strictly because of the cover, or maybe that was it? Well, when I started collecting again, because I don't have any of my comics from before, um, the first cover that I bought strictly for the cover, because I wasn't even actually collecting at this point, was I got this run of Dark Reign Punisher, which is also the first thing I read by Rick Remender. And I got this because of the fact that I thought that it was a perfect illustration of the Punisher. And yeah, that was the first thing that I picked up when I started collecting again, strictly because of the cover. Um, the first series of covers, because I collect variant covers on series a lot. The first series of variants that I started collecting was Action Comics, uh, and I really like this cover. I think it's a good breakdown of kind of like a history of Superman type thing. And yeah, Action Comics was the first series that I started picking up all in variants, and then I started going back and picking up others. New Guardians, Wonder Woman, uh, a lot of others. My Little Pony, I love freaking My Little Pony covers. The variant covers are freaking awesome. I don't even read My Little Pony, I just pick it up for the covers. The most expensive cover that I bought strictly for the cover was this Mike Allred um, Fantastic Four cover, because I like She-Hulk, I like his art, and yeah, I paid way too much for this cover, but um, what can you do when you go and shop at chain stores except for overpay for stuff? Second question was, what cover would you like to have if you could have a cover, what like dream cover, whatever? Well, my dream cover would actually be along the lines of what I said about collecting runs of stuff. I collected the entire run of variants on Batman Incorporated, except for number one. I don't have number one. And so if my dream cover, I guess, would be the Batman Incorporated variant cover for number one. This was also the first series that I collected in regular covers plus variant covers. Uh, Third question was, what's your top 3 superhero movies or TV shows? Well, number one would have to be Batman 66. I freaking love Batman 66. And if not for Batman 66, um, yeah, I wouldn't have ever got into reading comics at all. Adam West was my introduction into comics and getting into it. So, there's that. Uh, $6 Million Man. I freaking loved that series whenever I was growing up. Lee Majors was freaking awesome. And yeah, I was all into the whole like Bionic thing and just all of that. And it was something that I could sit down and watch with my dad, which was super awesome because he really enjoyed it too. And so yeah, $6 Million Man was freaking awesome. And then Superman 2. If I had to pick a movie, Superman 2 would probably be uh, probably my movie. I love Superman 2. Um, I love Christopher Reeves as Superman. It's hard now whenever I watch these Superman movies to be Christopher Reeves because I have such a high level of respect for what he did for Superman. Even though I'm not a huge Superman fan, Superman 2. Um, the next question was top three Saturday morning comics or Saturday morning cartoons. Um, Hong Kong Phooey. Freaking love that show, dude. He was just so flippin' funny. Um, and Yeah, love that freaking show. The Jetsons. I freaking love the Jetsons. It was like Space Flintstones. And yeah, um, I don't really like the Flintstones anymore, but I can still sit down and watch the Jetsons all freaking day long. And, that's awesome. And In Child Private Eye. I loved In Child Private Eye whenever I was a kid. Um, I could not, that was one of the things that I just couldn't wait for whenever it was coming on, man. It was so funny. He's just tall. He's getting assistance from um, it's just, man, that show was so freaking funny. I guess I liked funny cartoons when I was a kid or whatever. Probably my favorite memory of like Saturday morning cartoons was when the cartoons were over, uh, because wrestling came on. And I'm from right outside Memphis, so we got all of Jerry the King Lawler stuff and all that. And that was like one of the few times a week that I could really sit down with my dad and that we had like something that we had in common or whatever. And looking back on it, it's like you were talking about losing people and everything. Looking back on it and those memories, I cherish those little things like that so much. And the last thing that you asked was a pat on the back thing for something that you're good at. I'm not really good at very much. About the only thing that I'm good at is is tasting things. I'm really good at mimicking recipes that I can taste something and pretty much tell you what's in it and recreate it. Um, I've always been good at that. I was a sous chef for a guy for about 10 years that he was insistent on flavors and that I could pick flavors out of things and just pretty much be able to do flavors blind. And he taught me that, and you know uh, I'm still really good at it. If I taste something, I can pretty much duplicate it or improve on it, depending. Um, but yeah, sauces and stuff like that, I'm really really good at, and I'll give myself a pat on that. And also Steve Higginbotham, Chef Steve, if you're out there, thank you for giving me that gift because really it's probably one of the only things that I'm really awesome at. Um, but anyway, I just want to say, liking the covers, 4963. I'm really enjoying your channel, man. 50 subs. You'll be at 100 in no time. I mean, that's how these things work. And then 150, and just keep on keeping it real, man. And people will come to you. As long as you're talking about things that you like and everything, people will come to it. I mean, that's just what they do. And yeah, everybody go check him out. And I'm gonna get off here and get around to, I guess, watching Agents of Shield. And I'll take a chill later.